Hello and welcome to Health Matters on Channels Television. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Cancer begins when cells in the body start to grow out of control. Colorectal cancer starts in the colon or the rectum. These cancers can also be called colon cancer or rectal cancer, depending on where they start. Colon and rectal cancer are often grouped together because they have many features in common. According to the World Health Organization, colorectal cancer is the third most common cancer worldwide, accounting for approximately 10% of all cancer cases and is the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths globally. It is estimated that in 2020, more than 1.9 million new cases of colorectal cancer and more than 930,000 deaths due to the disease occurred. The risk of developing the disease increases with age. My guest is a public health physician and medical officer of health at Lagos State Primary Healthcare Board, Dr. Mariam Oshodi. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
I would like us to, first of all, tell us where the colon is, what is the colon, and what is the rectum, and where are they situated in the body? Let's know what we're dealing with.
Exactly. So the colon is a part of the large intestine.
Okay.
You know, in the digestive system, we have the small intestine as well as the large intestine. Now, the large intestine has the colon and the rectum. Colon has different parts. We have the ascending colon, the transverse colon, as well as the descending colon. Now, towards the end of the descending colon, we have the rectum and the anus. Okay. So colorectal cancer, it entails the colon and the rectum.
Okay, so it's that whole area under your breastbone.
Yes.
Or that spiral thing inside the body, right down to the anus.
Right down to the
That's
anus.
the colon and the rectum.
Yeah.
All right, so we know where we are talking about.
Exactly.
What are the causes of this colorectal cancer?
Okay, so colorectal cancer, just like any other cancer, is due to abnormal growth of cells in the body. So any cell in the body that starts growing abnormally can become a cancer.
But I'm wondering, why would a cell be growing abnormally? Is this something they do to it?
Okay, no. So if a cell becomes diseased, a cell can start having some transformation, and then you can start having some changes. And if it's detected on time, it can be addressed. If it goes out of way, it can become malignant, and then you can have cancer.
Okay. At least we can talk about risk factors.
Oh, sure. Definitely.
One of them is age.
Yes.
What are the others?
Okay, so like you said, age, above 50, you should need to start checking. If you have a family history of colorectal cancer, or family history of a bowel, or you have bowel disease like inflammable bowel disease, you need to check for any cancer or any growth as well. Also, if you've had a polyp before, intestinal polyp, you need to check, because most of colorectal cancer starts as polyps, and if they are not addressed, they're not checked on time, they become cancerous. Once it's addressed, the polyp can be removed through surgical.
So is a polyp a lump?
Yes, you can put it in that way. To a layman, it's like a lump. It's like an abnormal growth in the intestine. So if the polyp is picked on time, it can be removed, and then that would not lead to a cancer. However, sometimes, depending on type of polyp, the different type of polyps, if the polyp is left there, it can, after a period of time, can become cancerous.
So it's age, family history, former polyps,
or any bowel disease, as the case may be.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Does every colorectal cancer start from a polyp?
Every colorectal cancer, almost every.
Oh, we're making progress.
Almost every colorectal cancer.
And you say they can be removed?
They can be removed, yes.
Before they become cancerous?
Definitely, yes, sure. Yes.
So it's almost totally preventable?
Yes.
That's good news.
Yes.
The only problem I have with this is, when you said family history, who has a family history in Nigeria? Nobody knows what their dad or their granddad had, or their grandmother. I mean, do you have such people who can tell you, oh yes, I remember my mom had a brain tumor. Yeah. In fact, my grandfather had one.
Yes.
In Nigeria?
Yes, there are a lot of people. There are lots of people, yes, because, it's all part of our health-seeking behavior. Colorectal cancer, yes, we might say yes in the 70s, 60s, people might not know what exactly diagnosis was, but things are changing and people are getting more enlightened. And so you can say, yes, I know someone that had a family history of colorectal cancer, or the parent died from colorectal cancer, so you need to be on the check. If you have a family history of colorectal cancer, you will not wait till you're age 50. Once you're 40, you need to start checking. You need to start looking out for the symptoms that anyone that has colorectal cancer might have. And if you find any of those things, you get into the hospital to ensure you're checked.
So what are the symptoms of colorectal cancer?
Okay, first of all, you might not have any symptom at all. Okay. And then you could have people passing bloody stools.
Bloody stools?
Bloody stools, yes.
Does that happen at the beginning of the whole thing?
So it depends on the stage. It might be that the polyp in the intestine has been bruised and you're bleeding from it, or you're having so other symptoms also include frequent passage of watery stools or constipation. So you're going to have a change of bowel habits. So it's important that you also know what your bowel habit is, and then if you notice that you're passing more frequent stools or you're getting more constipated. So someone that is getting constipated can begin to have blood in the stool from straining.
That is, if you have the same diet and these things begin to happen.
Yes. Even if you have a change of diet, your bowel, everybody has a regular bowel habit. There's some people that once they wake up, they need to use the restroom. And there are some people that they have to use the restroom 2 to 3 times, twice a day. But there are some that do alternate days. But everyone knows what exactly works for them. So it's also being conscious of our health. That's what will let you know what your bowel habit is actually. So once you notice any of those kind of changes, you're seeing that your bowel habit is changing. You're having weight loss, unexplained weight loss. You understand? You're noticing that your clothes are not fitting well. You're getting fatigued easily. You're having easy satiety. Once you eat a little, you feel tired.
You're full.
You're full.
Okay.
You need to check it up. There might be something that is not making the food go down well, or you're not making the food get digested. So you need to also check it up. And then even if you don't have any symptoms at all, like I said, it's also important that you go in regularly for checks.
Okay. So for those who don't have symptoms, or everybody really, just in case they're the type of person who doesn't get a symptom in time, the check, the screening is important.
Yes, it's important.
How soon does one begin to screen?
Okay, so by the time you're age 40, if you have a family history of colorectal cancer, you might need to start on time. However, by the time you're 40 and you notice that you should start having a general baseline body check yearly.
What is included in a baseline body check, if I might ask?
So if you might not necessarily now pertaining to colorectal cancer.
Yeah, not pertaining to cancer, but generally. What are we checking?
So you're looking at every part of your body. If you're someone that wears glasses, you want to check your eyes. Yes, you want to check your blood pressure, whether you're hypertensive or not. You want to check your blood sugar level, whether you're diabetic or not, or whether you have a family history, as the case may be. And then depending on the gender, you're going down, you're picking the body from head to the toe. So you're coming down, you want to have a breast check. If as basic as having just an examination.
And that includes men?
Yes, men inclusive. That's what you say, gender-based now. So breast cancer is for both male and females. So you have to check breast scan, as the case may be. Or if you have family history, you might need to have a mammogram, as the case may be. And then going down, for the women, you might have to do a cervical cancer screening, having a pap smear yearly or every 3 years, depending on your family history, as the case may be. And if you are the man, for a man, you have to check your prostate. So you want to check what's the prostate looking like and all that. And then also you have to go down to the colon, which is our point of discussion this afternoon. So you want to check as basic as having an occult blood sample, stool test is important. They're checking.
Is that the basic test for it? Stool test.
Stool test. They're checking
if
there's blood. They will
something.
check if there is blood in the stool.
Okay.
Now, if it's positive and they find out that there's blood in the stool, you're going to go a step higher. Yes, and then you can now go on to have a colonoscopy. You want to scope and examine the intestine to check, is there any growth that they might be able to catch a polyp there?
What if it's at the very early stage and it's at the polyp stage.
Yes.
And let's say the polyp is not even cancerous.
Yes.
Can they find that
Yes,
out?
yes. So once you do a scope, it's going to be you're examining the intestine with an apparatus that you're able to see the linings of the wall of the intestine. So once there is a polyp there, the polyp can be excised without you even having an open surgery. You understand? And then polyps can be excised, and whatever organ or specimen that is picked up from a human body must be sent to the lab for histology. It's very important.
Yeah, I heard that's a standard.
Yes, it's standard everywhere. And even if you go to the hospital and that is picked out, you must ensure that you get the results. Keep a copy of that result. It's very important, because you might be seeing a doctor, a medical person another time, and they will request for that result. It's going to help in your history and management for whatever disease you're in. So that polyp can be picked up immediately and excised.
Okay, so if the polyp is not cancerous, it's excised, do you need to do chemotherapy?
No. It's not cancerous. There's no chemotherapy. Once it's excised, you send to the lab for histology, and then you just have to come up for follow-up visits.
And it can be that simple?
Yes, it can be that simple.
So, colorectal cancer can be prevented?
Yeah, sure.
Those 930,000 people who died from it didn't have to die from it?
Yes, they didn't.
What if it gets to the point that there is a cancer, you were not able to prevent it?
Yeah.
The person got there too late and cancer has set in. Can it be managed?
Yes, very well. So the different form of management, depending on the type of the cancer and the level at which it's spread. There are sometimes when the patient presents very late. And when the patient presents very late and then the cancer has spread to other organs, you'll be concerned. It will determine the type of management for that client. So if it's picked and is already cancerous, the first step of management is surgery. So once the specimen, permit me to use that word, is picked out, the cancer specimen is picked out, they're going to check, okay, even from examination at the surgical procedure, they are looking at it, how much of the spread, if its cancer is still contained. If surgery is done, the next line of treatment is chemotherapy, whereby you need to take some chemo medications, and then to help kill the possible cancer cells that were not, that were not removed in course of surgery. And then going a bit further, you might need radiotherapy, as the case may be. However, with chemo, a good number of patients that are picked early enough do well. So colorectal cancer is not a death sentence. The most important thing is you need to ensure that you go for follow-up regularly, and then also check out for all the symptoms that have been clearly stated.
So the question I have is, when they are treated for cancer, you said they can do well. Can they do well in Nigeria?
Oh, sure.
I hear of people who say they've lived with cancer for 20 years, 25 years,
over
30,
yes,
and they're still alive.
We
hear about dying of cancer here, not living with it.
No, but also here there are people that live with cancer. The problem is our health-seeking behavior. Okay. Because most of the time people do not go to they do not seek health intervention on time. We also have the cultural aspect that we need to deal with, because people believe it's a spiritual attack, or it's something that's Yoruba culture, they might say, is offer. In different people have, different things. So they would not, by the time they are presenting to the hospital, it's already very late. So first of all, like I said, our health-seeking behavior is important, that we get to the hospital on time and you follow the advice of the medical practitioner as much as possible. When people present to the hospital on time, the interventions are early enough, and then even if it's at the late stage where you might need to have palliative treatment for those that have gone out of hand, they will still be managed. But people live very well with colorectal cancer. Okay,
we're going to have more about that when we come back. We're going on a short break now. Stay with us. Let's go on a break. More about this right after now. Welcome back. We're talking about colorectal cancer with Dr. Mariam Oshodi. Colorectal cancer is almost totally preventable, and we're going to talk some more about that. But before then, you can call 0808-054-2233 if you have questions about this type of cancer. You can also send a message on X at CTV_Mary A. What do you advise people to do? Do we have what they call modifiable risk factors that we can handle to stay away from this?
Yeah. So for the risk factors, like we had mentioned, one of them, the non-modifiable ones, let me start with that, is age. There's nothing we can do about that. And then the next is us being the black race.
Is it worse with blacks?
Yes, it's worse with blacks. So, that's...
When are we going to get a break?
Nothing. So that's not modifiable. So now let's go to the modifiable ones. Alcohol ingestion, cigarette smoking, those two are two culprits in any form of type of cancers. And then also exercise. In our culture, exercise now it's getting better. We have lots of gyms around where people go to exercise and stuff. But also for people that are unable to go to gyms in the comforts of your homes, you should be able to do some basic exercise. So let's look at our exercise and also look at our diet. We also need to start eating much more healthy. We should run away from the high fat-based diets and low fiber diet. So for colorectal cancer, high fiber diets also help to prevent colorectal cancer, which is also very important. And then also I'd mentioned healthy living, and then also our healthy eating behavior.
Should we start cooking our vegetables differently? Maybe we are overcooking our stuff.
Vegetables. I was going to say vegetables should not really be cooked actually, because they should actually be steamed actually.
Steamed?
Yes.
So that you can still get whatever goodness is in there.
And then we should not rinse and rinse. When you go to buy your ugu in the market, you rinse. And they rinse in the market before they cut for you. You come back home, you rinse like 3 times.
Some people soak. Does that matter?
Yes, it does matter.
Oh.
So it's important. And then we can have gardens in our homes, home gardens, just very small gardens.
Ugu from the home garden is so much better.
Yes. And then because you don't even have to rinse all the time, as much as you rinse if you picked it from the market and stuff like that. So let's eat healthy. And then, there are some people, in our culture, we like so much of oil. Fat oil. Some people still make their meals with swimming oil, like it's like a swimming pool filled with the fishes and meat and all that. Yes, so we need to reduce our oil content, and then it's important we try to go for fish more than meat. Then fruits and vegetables is very, very important. Fruits and vegetables in comfort of our homes. They also help to because remember that colorectal part of the body is in the digestive system, and part of it is mainly what you take in. It's more like what you take in is what you get out. Yeah, so you have to be cautious of whatever thing you're taking in. At least so to ensure that whatever thing that is coming out is not cancer. Some of these things are totally not preventable, but you have to try your own bits as much as possible.
So I'm curious, because this is talking about the colon and the rectum, and food directly passes through there. Has anybody computed or found out the percentage of cancers that can actually be prevented from eating right?
From eating right? So is it right or rice, you said?
No, right.
Right,
as in eating properly.
Yes. So there have been studies, I'm not able to give you that figure exactly right now, but there have been studies that show that eating habits also help, particularly for colorectal cancer. And that's why high fiber diet has been encouraged for people that have families to try to go for high fiber diets and very low fat diets.
High fiber?
Yes, high fiber, low fat, yes.
Okay.
That's what really helps prevent colorectal cancer.
Are those all the modifiable things?
Yes. Diets, exercise.
Then
alcohol,
cancel smoking and reduce alcohol at least.
Reduce alcohol at least, and then salt also moderate. So that's part of healthy living now.
Okay.
Yes. Not we've gone past the age of when we have to put the salt on the dining table, and then people keep sprinkling as they are eating.
Yes. Do people still do that?
Yes, some people.
There was a time that salt on the dining room table was a must.
Yes,
it had to be there.
Yes, it had to be there.
Well, I think things are now changing.
Sure, things are changing. Things are getting better.
Let's go briefly back to the methods of finding out. Just to stress, it's better to go for a screening rather than begin to feel symptoms.
Yes.
Go for a screening. Let the doctor tell you what's happening. Can we choose the method of screening?
Okay, so you have to look at the options. What are the options of screening? If you have a complaint, they'll tell you, okay, the first thing you do, you want to check the occult stool sample. So
sorry, what does occult mean?
Occult like means
something bad.
No.
Occult is bleeding?
Hidden.
Hidden,
yes.
okay.
So what it means is you produce a stool sample in a bottle, and they want to check if there is blood there. You might not be able to see the blood with your naked eyes. Yes, so that's why it's occult eating. You won't be able to see with your naked eyes, so they will check on microscopes, check if you can see any blood stool sample. If it's positive, then you go on to the next step. You'll be told to go for a colonoscopy.
Which is the colonoscopy.
Yes. So you want to go for a colonoscopy and check if there is any growth there. Otherwise, yes, some people also go for the abdominal pelvic ultrasound scan. Abdominal scan.
Okay, so the abdominal scan, can it be substituted for any other method?
Okay,
or everything must be done?
The abdominal ultrasound scan, that was what I was saying. So there is the abdominal pelvic CT scan. So there are two different things. So which
one is like the type you do when you're pregnant?
When you're pregnant, that's the ultrasound scan.
Okay.
Yes, that's the abdominal ultrasound scan. That's the type you do when you're pregnant. And then that would be like, most of people just walk into scan centers and just do their scans by themselves without even the doctor's prescription. So they might do the scan and they might be able to find something there.
I see.
Yes. And then for some time, particularly, sometimes they might not see anything actually there. And then they might need to go a bit higher.
So it's not a very conclusive method?
No, it's not. It's not conclusive.
How about the other scan?
So the other scan is much more conclusive. That's the abdominal CT scan. So if you want to do the abdominal CT scan, there'll be some precautions, some procedures that you have been told you have to keep away from, the type of diet you take before you come for the procedure, because they want your bowels to be almost clear, so to be able to pick out what we are looking for. And also, we also want to check for your kidney function test, because it's important. You're going to use a dye when you're having this CT scan, and then they want to ensure that your kidneys are functioning properly, such that your body is able to excrete the dye. So that's very, very important.
Okay. And so if the kidneys are not functioning well, the dye cannot be secreted, and that can cause a problem.
Yes, that can cause a problem. So that person will not be fit to have the abdominal CT.
And then they would have to do
so they can go for an alternative of a colonoscopy.
Is that painful?
Which one of them?
The colonoscopy.
Well,
because that you have to push something up yourself.
Yes. So like it says in the scope, they need to put something there to check if we can see. I won't say it's painful, but you might have some discomfort. That's it, basically. Not necessarily painful, but some discomfort here and there.
I think I'll go for the dye. We check our kidney function and go for the dye. Thank you so much for coming to the show, Doctor. It's been a great time. And it's lovely to talk about a cancer that can be prevented if we are careful.
Yes,
thank you so much for coming to the show.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching. Try and do your scans, your screening, right? Do your screenings and get rid of this stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do it again next week. Have a lovely day. I am Mary Alale Yusuf.